thing I love about D2 is the more that you learn about the game, the more that items open up to you and become interesting. And I think that's actually a really fun part about Diablo 2. Like at a starter basic level, I mean at a very basic level, you're just like, high defense is good, bigger number better. And then you start to realize, oh, just because something is like a higher attack number, it's not actually a better item. And yeah, okay. Great copy pasta. And then you start to, you know, as well, then you get to like, okay, sets better than, you know, this, then uniques are better than that. But then again, you start to realize not all sets are better, not all uniques are better, and you start figuring out the difference in that. And then you start figuring out the finer things of, okay, now I want the skills and the resistances and the life and mana and all of those things. And then you start to figure out even more about the affixes and all the different breakpoints and why you're running. I want FCR on this character. I want, you know, I'm looking for more light damage, or I'm looking whatever things. You know, IAS and where your breakpoints are for all that stuff. And then you start to get even further in depth in terms of like, can this even be possible once you start to get that full knowledge of the game? For instance, something might be like, you know, yeah, resistance meta is a little meh. I agree. But, you know, it can't be perfect, but it's still pretty good. But then you start to get to stuff like okay, an assassin, right? If I want to run an assassin with dual claws, but I want to hit her 105 FCR breakpoint, I have to run Griffins, which isn't something I exactly like, but it's still something that's interesting because you physically can't get the FCR that you need while running dual claws. You can't get that over the 105 on her. So now you're like, okay, so I have to make sacrifices there if I want to hit that breakpoint, and I have to run Griffins to do so. And okay, that's like a new idea and whatever stuff. And then
Not here.
you know, then you continue on, and now you're starting to get into understanding rare items and what makes a rare item good and even better than any unique item or something in that slot, because it does allow you to hit a breakpoint while also getting you strength and life and blah 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 and whatever stuff that you need to make up on these sorts of spots. And then yada yada yada, right? Then you're looking at magic items now, and it's like, ooh, this J mod could be really nice for this very specific build, or these 640s or whatever stuff. And so it just continues on, and every single step you learn, you suddenly can gain more interest in another item. And a lot of people don't get to that depth. They just get to the depth of Shaco and Oculus and Spirit and whatever, and that's still a fun depth to be at because you still learn things and there's still a lot of stuff. And you're not missing out on a ton by not doing so. You're just not getting the full min-max optimization for all of it and whatever. And then you're learning about all the different places to farm as you go in the game, because, you know, every different monster has a different TC versus a different M level of how they drop it, and it's great. And a lot of games don't do that. Path of Exile still fails to do that. Right? And it's more complicated for less of all the like how you go farm and stuff. All you do is just run around and do maps, right?
No.
Or you can go do some bosses for some of the specific ones. Thanks, Ricky. Yeah, and then you don't even get things like, okay, now I want to farm SOJ. Well, Nightmare and Dariel is actually the best spot to farm that, because now I'm starting to target farm this. And I'm looking at, you know, Stone of Jordan, and oh, Nightmare and Dariel, you know, has a higher ring drop chance here, jewelry drop chance, and at the same time can only drop these 3 rings. So it's actually best to farm here, even though I'm not getting the other things as much.